We tested two tools that can speed up your workflow more than you might expect. On the table today, we have the Sigman CD80 and the CM-S04. Both aim to make your work easier, but in very different ways. The CD80 combines tape, laser, and angle readouts in a compact pocket body, giving you quick control during simple tasks. The CM-S04, on the other hand, brings full 360-degree coverage for layout jobs, putting you in a more serious setup. Each tool brings its own value, and we'll go through their features, build quality, and real-world use to see how they perform. Let's get started. Starting with this compact one, CD80. It sits in the hand like a digital tool that wants to be used every day. We open the pouch and the device wakes up fast. Its aluminium frame feels sturdy without too much weight, and the ABS shell gives enough grip so it does not slip out when you reach for it in a hurry. The first thing you notice is the screen and the small level bubble on the top. We place it down and the bubble shifts in a very predictable way, which gives confidence right away. When it glows green, you know the tool sits level. When it glows orange, you know something feels off. This direct feedback makes the device more useful than a simple laser stick. Now, once you power it up fully, you land on a screen layout that feels clear. It shows where the measurement begins, whether it starts from the back of the device or the front face. And that alone saves time, since many laser tools hide that in menus. Here you see it without effort. What makes it interesting right away is how it combines three tools in one compact body: a laser, a tape measure, and an angle sensor. It cuts down on the number of tools we usually need for small layout tasks. Now, moving around the body, the metal frame gives it a solid feel. Buttons feel soft but not mushy, and each press gives a quick response. And the USB-C port sits on the side and stays protected enough for job site dust. The weight sits around 3.5 ounces, so you can carry it in a pocket with no trouble. You never feel like the tool pulls your pants down or drags your pouch. The small tape strip on the side covers 0 to 5 centimeters. We found that helpful when we had to make tiny adjustments in cramped corners. It feels like a detail you rarely see in digital lasers, yet once you discover it, you use it more than you expect. Inside the device sits an 850 mAh lithium cell that charges through USB-C. That means no dependence on APACs anymore. You get thousands of one-way readings on one charge. In practice, we never drained it through a full workday. Well, the CD80 advertises many modes, but we focus on how they actually help in real tasks. Length mode feels immediate. You point, press the button, and the number appears. For us, the continuous mode became more useful. We were spacing shelves and adjusting cabinet gaps, and the reading updated as we moved the tool, so we knew exactly when we hit the right measurement. That cuts down on the trial and error you usually deal with. Area mode comes in handy when we walk into a room for flooring or paint, because the tool does the calculation as soon as we take 3 points. Volume mode works similarly, which we noticed when planning storage layouts or checking HVAC space. You just point 3 times, and it gives the full value without guessing. The Pythagorean mode is helpful when you cannot reach a direct point. For example, when measuring a tall cabinet, we set 2 shots, and the tool calculated the third side. That means no awkward stretching or climbing just to get a number. However, the angle mode surprised us. It's very helpful, and we don't usually see this kind of feature in other handheld lasers. Once we placed the CD80 against a staircase stringer, the degree readout shifted in a steady motion. And that helped us confirm the pitch before we cut trim. Many handheld lasers try to do angle measurement and fail because their sensors drift. Here, the reading moves smoothly. The onboard electronic level also helps when you need to confirm if a surface tilts slightly. We placed it on a desk, and the green indicator confirmed level without guess. We tested the CD80 at short and medium distances. At 5.9 inches, the device stayed spot on. At 15.7 inches, the match stayed perfect. And at 6 feet across a room, the reading also matched our manual tape. This gave us enough trust to use it for drywall cutouts and floor layout. The numbers hold steady, and the reading appears without delay. The device claims an accuracy of plus or minus 2 millimeters, plus 1/10,000th of the distance you measure. In simple terms, you get a tight tolerance. We never caught a drift or a sudden jump. Each measurement felt repeatable. Let us look at how it fits into work. For floors, it becomes faster with area mode because you get the full measurement in one move. Cabinet spacing feels easier with continuous mode because you adjust each gap while the numbers update in front of you. Shelf alignment stays cleaner with angle mode because you see the tilt right away. And anything above 5 feet feels smoother with the laser since tapes want to sag or bend. If you often work alone, the CD80 helps even more, which means you skip the need for a second set of hands and stay focused on the task. So it can be a hybrid tool that removes extra steps from your workflow, and most of the time, it hits the mark. Now we move to the CM-S04, and you will notice how the brand keeps the same logic, but upgrades everything for layout work. Once you open the hard case, the difference between this and many budget lasers becomes clear. Case feels thick and rigid with dense foam that holds the device and accessories. It feels closer to a pro-grade kit. You get the lifting base, the heavy steel bracket with multiple adjustments, the remote, 2 batteries, the target plate, and the manual. You also get the adapter that moves from 3/8 to 1/4, so you can use any tripod you already own. The laser body itself feels solid, weighing around 670 grams, yet we never feel like it gets in the way while we move around a room. One thing that really sets the CM-S04 apart is the LCD display on the side. It lights up cleanly and shows level status, line status, and battery level at a glance. For us, that makes a difference because we don't have to guess or constantly check the lines. That alone gives the device a modern feel. As for build, it carries an IP54 rating, so dust and splashes will not bother it. The rubber pads on the bottom help it stay in place on smooth surfaces. The shell feels solid, and the pendulum lock gives enough resistance so it does not rattle loosely. Once you unlock it, the self-leveling mechanism settles quickly. When the device stays more than a few degrees off, the lines flash to warn you. The lift base raises the beam, so you can match it with tile lines or cabinet reference lines without shifting the whole tripod. The steel bracket feels like the star accessory though. It gives micro adjustments for left-right, forward-back, up-down, and rotation. That makes layout much easier because you never push the tripod to fix a small drift. The magnets allow you to stick the bracket to steel studs or beams. When we placed it on a metal door frame, it held steady. The small bullseye mark helps you center your alignment from a distance. Now, it projects 4 full 360-degree planes. 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines create a 16-line layout that covers walls, floors, and ceilings at once. And that setup is a big advantage. You almost never have to reposition the unit. You set it down once and can work around it, whether you're marking walls, floors, or ceilings. That's a great plus. Having all those lines at once makes layout work faster and more precise, especially on bigger rooms or complicated projects. Also, the green line is strong enough to stay visible even in bright light, and it reaches across 44 feet with clean, sharp edges. The claim of 30 meters indoors feels realistic. The line thickness stays consistent, and the edges don't fuzz, which helps when we're aligning multiple reference points across a room. For outdoor use, pulse mode becomes important. Once we activated it, the beam allows receivers to pick up the line far beyond what we can see. We tried it outside, and even though the line was barely visible under harsh sunlight, the receiver caught it easily without struggle. That makes it much more practical for exterior work or any site with bright ambient light. The self-leveling range covers 3 to 4 degrees. Once you place the tool on a tripod or a slab, it finds level quickly. We bumped the tripod slightly, and the device recovered without a long delay. Tilt mode becomes important for people who work on slopes or drains. You lock the pendulum and set your angle manually. The display shows your X and Y values clearly. You adjust the mount until you match your target grade. The line flashes once every few seconds to remind you that the line no longer stays level. Now for shower floors, ramps, or drainage lines, this becomes incredibly helpful because you get a consistent slope with far less trial time. Now Sigman includes 2 USB-C rechargeable batteries, so you can work all day without stopping. Each lasts 6 to 7 hours, and charging is simple, just plug in the cable directly. And the Bluetooth app mirrors the remote, so you could switch lines or adjust brightness from your phone without climbing up and down, keeping the workflow smooth. Carpenters can use all 4 360-degree planes to frame walls, hang doors, or align cabinets. Tile workers can match floor lines with wall lines without flipping the device. Electricians can run conduit in straight lines without chalk. Anyone who installs suspended ceilings can benefit from the horizontal planes. You can use it to align kitchen wall cabinets. The horizontal plane wraps the whole room, so you can move ladder to ladder without touching the tool. And you will find the cabinets hit the same height without a mismatch. That cuts down time with a chalk line. So our final thoughts on both tools point in the same direction. The Sigman CD80 offers everyday convenience with surprising versatility. It stays accurate, handles angles confidently, and feels easy to use. The build is solid enough for regular job site work, and the rechargeable battery saves money over time. For DIYers, carpenters, or anyone who measures often in small to medium projects, this is a tool that makes life simpler. The CIGMAN CM-S04 steps into professional territory with full 360-degree coverage, strong green lines, a solid mount, and a very useful LCD screen. Tilt mode and app control make it more capable than many standard 360 lasers at this price. The heavy bracket and dual batteries make it feel ready for long job site hours. For installers, tile setters, or anyone working on alignment and elevation layouts, it's a reliable choice. If you pick both, the CD80 handles quick, everyday measurements, while the CM-S04 takes care of precise layouts and long sessions. Together, they make your workflow smoother from start to finish. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you have questions or thoughts, share them in the comments. And if you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more tool reviews.